in general, a special means the MATLAB. In MATLAB, we can plot the same graph. Okay, and example has been shown in Kafner itself with coding. We can calculate, we can identify the same nature of the graph. What we call it is a root locus diagram, and we can draw it by with the help of MATLAB itself. So this is a very essential part of any control uh, designing process. So the control system designers need to know which particular values of the KC will be bring the system at the verge of instability, so that the system should be in the range of stability. How much, the what extent, up to what extent the KC can be increased to avoid the instability. But side by side, what they are actually expecting that from the system there should be a less oxygen. So this is a very we are discussing here the only analysis. Okay, so these are the different methodologies to analyze this particular root locus diagram. Okay, so as far as this thing, any type of change we can check any time of order of the system. If it is if we study the root locus diagram like this, we can plot the graph based on the rules or the theorems by the root locus diagram. Another analysis is this visible? Frequency response analysis.
So,
Okay, so let me tell you the new topic is the frequency response analysis. It represents that frequency response analysis. Hmm. So, so the next topic is frequency response analysis. It is it is again the graphical methodology of analyzing the response of the system when it is subjected to a sinusoidal input. When it's subjected to sinusoidal input, as you know, just like we have discussed the sinusoidal input. Okay, little recap of that we will see here. In the sinusoidal input, let me tell you the frequency response and what is the frequency response analysis. In this particular topics series of topics, what we are discussing here how the responses behaves for the different changes occur into the input. Okay, so the nothing but the responses mean the output. So the output, how it is behaving, this is the part of our control strategy, or the control engineers need to be know how that response will behave if it is subjected, if the system is subjected, and how the control system will cooperate to maintain the objectives to achieve the objectives. Okay, so objectives we have already identified that there may be possibly the single objective may be there or multiple objectives. Okay, suppression of disturbances, then the steady state maintain to maintain the steady state. Then next is optimization. So these are some objectives which the control system and the manual interventions are needed to achieve the objectives. It may be a single objective or it may be a more than one objective. So ultimately, our aim is to identify, though we are using control system, but what will happen if we, so there is some constraint to control system even. So the response analysis gives us the information about whatever the parameters which the mathematical expressions or the mathematical models which that particular control system governs, that particular mathematical models comprises of some parameters which are adjustable. Just like in the proportional controller, KC, integral controller is integral time, and in the derivative controller is the derivative time. So how far these particular adjustable parameters are helpful to us to maintain the or to require to achieve the required desired value of the system. Okay, desired value means whatever the aim you have. Okay, so the response analysis represent that, just like we have observed that in the previous lectures, that KC cannot be increased beyond some value because it may turn the system into the unstable system. So similarly, this frequency response, particularly this topic, represent that if certain, just like KC, the gain, here we are discussing here some frequencies which are related to the your output. Okay, so it represents that your output is a function of frequency, and if we increase the frequency or decrease the frequency or vary the frequency in general, what will happen to the response? So this case generally observe into the frequency come into the picture when the system is behaving like, or the response or the input behaving like a some periodic function, and that periodic function is something which we have discussed is a sinusoidal wave. Okay, if the input is my sinusoidal, okay, so output will be sinusoidal. We have identified that things. Okay, but the output is something lagging behind by the theta, that is the tan inverse of minus omega tau. We have observed, we have derived that thing, same things. Okay, so the concept of this topic today is, instead of calculating a long equation of CT, that is the CT means after inverse Laplace, after using partial fraction, then inverse Laplace, and then the e raised to the power expressions, sine expressions, cos expressions. This is a combination of very complex terminologies, trigonometric terminologies, algebraic terminologies you observe into the equation of the CT. CT is nothing but our output variable. Okay, so to avoid this particular time-consuming calculations, so scientists, mathematicians develop the some graphical representation of the terminologies which are observed into the output, and we can represent the same responses in terms of frequency. In terms of frequency, so very first thing is that what is the frequencies and how that frequencies are involved into the equations governing by the sinusoidal inputs or the sinusoidal outputs. Let's see. So concept is that just like KC, which was we varied from we varied from 0 to infinity. Similarly, in this case, frequency we will vary from low frequency to high frequency. Okay, the concept is like this. Then we will identify how that particular frequency affect the system stability. Okay, from the analysis will be after that. Identify the nature first, and then we will again identify the effect of that change in frequency. So what is frequency analysis? Frequency response is the response characteristics of the system when subjected to the sinusoidal inputs. Okay, as per your as per the derivations, as per the lectures which we have covered, we have observed that in linear systems, when subjected to the sinusoidal inputs, so there is a output which also observed into the sinusoidal format. The input frequency is varied and the output characteristics are computed or represented as a function of frequency. So as the characteristics of the sinusoidal wave is, what are the characteristics of sinusoidal waves? These are amplitude ratio and theta, which we have discussed earlier. है ना, sinusoidal wave में हमने amplitude ratio and theta we have calculated. So if you observe that amplitude ratio is a function of omega, as well as theta is also function of omega. Both are function of omega. So it represents that, is it possible, can we vary the omega and we can identify theta and r, omega r, and based on that things, is it possible, can we identify the stability, instability, or can we analyze the system response? Yes, it is possible. So before to move on this particular graphical representation, let's compare the which we have derived earlier and now how the frequency response will start. Now, which we have derived already, so we are taking it in the again consideration. This was the way which we have derived, or we call, sir, we analyze the first order system when it is subjected to a sinusoidal system. Okay, the response of first order system to a sinusoidal system. First order system I'm talking about. Okay, if my system is a first order system, then its transfer function would be like this: Gs is equal to 1 upon 1 plus tau s, ys upon xs is equal to. If my input is a sinusoidal one, so we had defined that st is equal to a sin omega tau. Okay, then its Laplace was xs is equal to a omega upon s square plus omega square. What? Substitute this xs. Okay, substitute this xs over here. So you will get this expression. Agree? You will get this expression. Further, so ys is equal to this terminology need to be converted into the yt. How? Using partial fraction and then taking inverse Laplace transform. Okay, हम partial fraction use करेंगे and then I will use inverse Laplace formula for that. So ultimately you come across such type of expression, right? Partial fraction and then inverse Laplace transform. When we implement, you will come across a omega tau square plus 1 is equal minus t by tau minus a omega tau and so on. Agree? Okay. So next was t tends to infinity. At that time, this transient response will decay or it will become zero, and only remaining will be the steady state ultimate steady state will be in this format. Okay, I'm not going to that, we have already did it. Then we observed that rearranging these by using a trigonometric expressions, the equation will be a sin omega t plus theta upon under root 1 plus omega tau square will be there. And similarly, what is theta? Theta can be defined in this fashion: tan inverse minus omega tau. Tan inverse minus omega tau. So remember these two expressions. Remember these two equations. One more equation is called as amplitude ratio. We have identified. Okay. In this case, what was the amplitude ratio? This is the amplitude of output. What is the amplitude of input? It was A. है ना? It was A. So in general, the output of the sinusoidal input change of the system when subject to input change as a sinusoidal, we can define these two terminology: amplitude ratio. So output amplitude ratio was A upon under root 1 plus omega tau square. What was the input amplitude ratio? input amplitude, it was A. So it is 1 upon under root 1 plus omega tau square. Okay, tan theta is tan inverse minus omega tau. Minus omega tau. So these are the two properties by which we can, these are the characteristics of the sinusoidal wave or the response. Okay, when input is subjected to sinusoidal. When input is subjected to sinusoidal change. Okay, so if you observe that amplitude ratio is a function of omega itself and theta is also the function of omega itself. Okay, so amplitude ratio and theta are the function of omega. So is it possible? There is a possibility that omega will affect the value of AR and theta, and so the response, so the characteristics of the CT. So the concept is that in this case, in the frequency analysis, we will check the amplitude ratio and theta with respect to omega. We will change the omega from 0 to infinity, and we will identify how AR is changing, how theta is changing. And based on that things, we can decide the criteria of the stability. We will check the stability criteria. So how? Let's see. How? Let's see. So this is the concept of amplitude ratio, yaad rakhiye, and the theta. Okay, we can identify the same results with the help of complex numbers also. Okay, so we will compare these complex numbers equations, complex number derivation with this particular this expression. Okay, so let's see. Another way of representing the same results is if I have a GS is equal to Ys by Xs is equal to 1 upon 1 plus tau s, I know. Okay. After substituting, convert into the complex number. For that purpose, substitute S is equal to J omega. Okay. So I will take the help of the complex number algebra. Okay. And based on that things, let's see how we can, what we can do over here. We will see. Okay. In the next slide, you will come to know what is the result actually. So when we are replacing, when we are converting the S domain into the complex one, so you will observe that 1 upon 1 plus j omega tau will be there. Further rationalizing, multiplying denominator and numerator by the 1 minus j omega tau, we will get this one, 1 minus j omega tau, 1 minus j omega tau square. Okay, 1 plus a plus b, a minus b will be a square minus b square will be there. Okay, this is the rationalizing way. So further, if I observe that this thing, so it is observed that this is the real part and this is the imaginary part associated. This is the real part associated with this denominator, the imaginary part associated with this denominator. Okay, so 1 upon 1 plus omega tau square, it is the real part, plus j minus omega tau upon 1 plus omega tau square, it is the imaginary part. Okay, so these are the nothing but the coordinates of some point. When we place it on the complex plane, it will be like this. Okay, this is the point which I can plot. Okay, actually it should be in the third quadrant because this is the negative. Okay, real part is positive. Real part is positive and imaginary part is negative. It should be on the fourth quadrant. यहाँ होना चाहिए. But in general, okay, So here will be the actually location of this point. Okay. So it should be here. So its imaginary part is negative. Imaginary part is, this is the negative value, and real part is positive. Real part is positive. We can represent the complex number in this fashion. Okay, this is the imaginary axis. This is the real axis. This one is the real axis. Is this visible? Simple representation of the complex number on the graph. Okay. Now let's see. Our aim is to determine the amplitude ratio and theta by using this complex algebra. So what we call is the diagonal. This diagonal is called as modulus. This is called as, है ना? This is called as modulus of this. Modulus or absolute value of magnitude. How we can calculate Gj omega? This can be calculated just a moment. This can be calculated with the help of by using Pythagoras theorem. If say it is O. So Pythagoras theorem represent that under root of opposite side plus adjacent sides. Okay, on the this one. Sorry, that was the 10. But this is nothing but the this is this and this plus of this square. So real part square, that is OA square plus OB square. Pythagoras theorem अगर हम use करते हैं, the geometry. Okay, but what is OA? OA square plus OB square. But what is OA? OA is nothing but real part square plus OB is nothing but imaginary part square in general. If we represent it is like that. So that time it comes out to be, when we substitute these things, A is real part is 1 upon 1 plus omega tau square plus IP is minus omega tau upon 1 plus omega tau square and under root of this, square of this. Okay, square of this and under root of this. So it comes out to be 1 upon, you just solve it, 1 upon 1 plus omega tau square. And it is same as that of the what is modulus, or in the previous one it is same as that of the amplitude ratio. It is same as that of the amplitude ratio. Okay, so we can say that what is the modulus? Modulus is nothing but the amplitude ratio. It is nothing but the amplitude ratio. One upon 1 plus omega tau square. Okay, and this is geometrically we can say that what is the amplitude ratio? Actually, amplitude ratio is nothing but the under root of squares of summation of the squares of the real part plus imaginary part. Okay, remember this term. Real part square plus imaginary part square, and its under root will give us amplitude ratio. Okay, similarly theta can be identified as, if we see the theta, the angle made by the modulus with real axis, it is opposite side. What is the opposite side? Opposite side is from these to these means imaginary part OB divided by OA. Opposite upon adjacent. What is theta? Tan theta is opposite upon adjacent. So it will be tan theta. Tan theta is equal to OB upon OA. What is OB? What is OB? OB is nothing but minus omega t upon 1 plus omega tau square. Minus omega tau minus omega tau upon 1 plus omega tau square. Divided by what is OA? OA is nothing but 1 upon 1 plus omega tau square. 1 upon 1 plus omega tau square. On solving this, you will come to know that tan theta is comes out to be minus omega tau, or theta is equal to tan inverse minus omega tau. Minus omega. Okay, so the concept is that if I would like to identify theta, which is tan inverse of minus omega tau, but same thing we can say that in this equation, theta is equal to tan inverse of OB by OA. It means it is tan inverse of OB is imaginary part upon real part. I can represent the same thing. Theta is equal. Okay. So the resemblance of this complex algebra with the derivations which we have carried out over here, it is observed that we can derive the same things with the help of complex algebra also. So remember these two equations. Which two equations? Equation is amplitude ratio is we can calculate if the systems, since the amplitude ratio is the function of omega, we want amplitude ratio. Okay, AR is equal to, so this is just a representation of how the complex numbers we can the complex algebra, with the help of complex algebra, it is just a representation of the characteristics which we have observed into the sinusoidal expressions. Okay, so sinusoidal input change. So same thing we can see that the amplitude ratio, these two equations you need to remember if you would like to identify how amplitude ratio can be calculated for any system, and this is applicable for all linear systems. Okay, but only when it is subjected to the sinusoidal input change, and theta can be calculated with the help of tan inverse of imaginary part upon real part. See here, why I am discussing this thing. This is nothing but a qualitative way. Instead of going for all the calculations, just like we have derived over here, if we have a section, if we have a system, okay, which is subjected by the input change in the sinusoidal manner, so I would like to analyze its stability or the response, then I will go for amplitude ratio. So for every time, don't go for the calculation, just the rationalizing and separation of RP and IP, or this thing, this one. Don't go for the inverse Laplace and all these things. Directly identify what is the real part, what is the imaginary part over there. Substitute this real part and the IP in the formula of AR over here. In this formula, you will get AR. Similarly, a theta you can calculate with the help of the ratio of IP and RP. Take the tan inverse of that things. The concept is that the calculations which we have done over here can be omit, okay, with the help of complex algebra. And complex algebra is giving us the simple formula for AR, which is nothing but the under root of summation of RP square plus IP square. Similarly, theta is tan inverse of IP upon RP. So this will give us the simple example, simple methodology to develop the AR, which is the function of omega, and theta, which is the function of again the omega. Okay, the concept is that mera AR and theta are the function of omega. I would like to develop these equations, and these equations are nothing but the amplitude ratio and theta. In the 7th slide, हम बोलिए क्या बोल रहे थे? हाँ बोलो. 7th slide का क्या डिस्कशन है?
Sir, amplitude ratio will be under root 1 over 1 by omega square tau square.
हो रहा है यहाँ? क्या हो रहा है? बताइए. What's the problem here?
Sir, in the denominator it should be under root 1 plus omega square tau square.
Yes. I forget to write. It should be here. Yes. It should be under root. Okay. The concept is will clear why we are doing this type of exercise right now. Okay. So the thing is that, okay, remember one thing, amplitude ratio is nothing but under root of RP square plus IP square, and theta is nothing but tan inverse of ratio of IP to RP. Okay. So what will be the next concept or the next step? Now, once we have identified the omega or the amplitude ratio and the theta are the function of omega, then we will plot this graph. Okay. उसी ग्राफ को हम क्या कहते हैं? बोडे प्लॉट. इसको क्या कहते हैं हम? बोडे प्लॉट. Okay, this is a very essential part of our subject, बोडे प्लॉट. A Bode plot is a plot of the amplitude ratio and the phase lag. Theta is a phase lag as a function of frequency of the input line wave, which is the same as the frequency of the output wave. अच्छा, omega will be the same, है ना, input और output में. If you observe the equation, output is nothing but amplitude ratio. अगर हम amplitude, उसका amplitude क्या है? A upon this is the output. Y-axis is the output. Amplitude is A upon under root 1 plus omega tau square. This is the output amplitude. So output amplitude is also function of omega. Phase is also function of omega. Similarly, the input xt is equal to a sin omega t. It is also the function of omega. So omega is common over here. Omega is common. Okay. So which is the same as the frequency of the output wave. सिर्फ वहाँ क्या होता है? Amplitude ratio change होता है. कम होता है. Logarithmic scales are used for the frequency axis. The y-axis is often plotted using the units of decibels, which is 20 log AR. तो in general क्या होता है कि frequency की range इतनी ज़्यादा होती है कि it is very difficult to plot on our regular graphs. So we use logarithmic graph generally for plotting the Bode plot. Okay, ठीक है. इसमें भी और simplifications है. We will see. हम logarithmic plot use करते हैं. But remember, students, you can use your normal graph also. Okay, by plotting this particular, by showing your units and just calibrating it like a logarithmic one. We do not need all the dBs over the range of values of omega. We not a broad dependence of dB or PB on omega and approximate the actual relationships through the use of asymptotes. So the question will arise, ki, sir, just like Kc, we are varying from 0 to infinity. So is it necessary to vary the omega from 0 to infinity? So the Bode plot is giving us the convenient way to plot the variation of omega, variation of AR and theta along with omega. It suggests that there is no need to calculate the omega from every point, how it will vary from 0, then 0.1, 0.2, up to the 100 and so on. It represents that you just plot its nature. Nature means the asymptotes actually, how they are asymptotically going. Okay, at what is its nature at the low frequency and how it is behave like in a high frequencies. So let me tell you how it will work. Okay, so generally we use the log scale. Using log scale allows you to cover the wide range of possible input frequencies and compressing big changes and emphasizes small changes to provide a better big picture of the overall response. Furthermore, the advantage of drawing things on log scale is that the Bode plot becomes much easier to sketch by hand. Okay, so we can directly plot this graph by hand. So how to draw it? Let me tell you. This is the diagram of Bode first order system. Okay, and it is a Bode diagram. It is called as Bode diagram. Okay, Bode plot. The Bode scientists have designed this particular thing. तो हम इसको कैसे derive करते हैं? How we will draw it? Let's see. Okay, so as you know, as we have just derived it that देखो मुझे ये ग्राफ प्लॉट करना है कि how I will draw it. ठीक है. So I have the equation of first order. I have the equation of first order, that is GS is equal to YS. If my system is first order, its transfer function is 1 upon 1 plus omega tau. Okay, so when it is subjected to the sinusoidal change, and whatever the equations I will get, in this case amplitude ratio will be of 1 upon under root 1 plus omega tau square हमने अभी define किया है, and theta is comes out to be tan inverse minus omega tau. ठीक है. So my system is first order. When xt is equal to a sin omega tau, by substituting all these things over here, you will get amplitude ratio and theta. Okay, this is the actually now the past we have already derived. In this case, amplitude ratio is 1 upon 1 under root 1 plus omega tau square, and theta is equal to tan inverse minus omega tau. I got. Now I would like to identify this. I would like to plot the Bode plot. How I will go for this? So very first is go for low frequency asymptote. As the Bode plot represent that, you don't plot each and every point. So just go for low frequency asymptotes. What is the low frequency asymptote? It represents that if omega tends to 0, what will happen to the AR equation? When omega tends to 0, this equation turns to be AR is equal to 1. See here. Omega अगर मैं 0 put करता हूं तो it will remain 1 only. So AR is equal to 1. Since this is a logarithmic one, so AR log of AR is equal to 0. Agree? So this is the actually the slope or the equation of the line. AR is equal to 1 is the equation of line. See here, the asymptote will start from this, from lower frequency, and it will move in this fashion. It is a horizontal line. It is a horizontal line passing through. AR is equal to 1. Amplitude ratio is equal to 1. Okay, this AR is equal to 1. Okay, this is now second is just two asymptotes, two reasons we need to identify. Now here will be the high asymptotic low frequency asymptote and high frequency asymptote. High frequency asymptote. I would like to draw the high asymptotic frequency asymptote. That time I will say what will happen if omega tends to infinity. That time AR becomes, see here, what will happen? AR when omega is at infinity, so it will become AR is equal to 1 upon omega tau. 1 upon omega tau. 1 upon omega tau. Okay. This is the equation of line again. So it represents that AR is inversely proportional to omega. It means on increasing the omega tau, AR will decrease. either you plot in terms of omega or omega tau. ठीक है, क्योंकि tau is constant, the only variation is omega. ठीक है, ये जो plot है यहाँ it is omega tau. That's why I'm explaining it in this fashion. Okay, either you can plot omega or omega tau itself. Both are possible. So log of AR is equal to minus log omega tau. Okay, so it represents that its slope is minus, so it will minus diagonal to diagonal it will move. So this will be the possible asymptote, but the thing is that how, at what point they will intersect. Two asymptotes I have known. Okay, AR is equal to 1 and AR is equal to 1 upon. So point of intersection. Point of intersection will be when we will equate these values. So 1 is equal to 1 upon omega tau. See here, the point of interaction is when omega tau is equal to 1. And the point of intersection when the both asymptotes are meeting at some point, okay, and the frequency corresponding to that point is called as corner frequency. Therefore, omega is equal to 1 upon tau, and this is called as corner frequency. It's called as corner frequency. So how you will draw? You will draw the AR is equal to horizontal line at 1. Okay, you will identify the corner frequency. Okay, before that we'll go for HFA. This will give us the line AR is equal to 1 omega tau. Okay, its slope is negative. Okay, but at what point it will intersect to the lower frequency asymptote, we can identify with the help of point of intersection. Point of intersection represent that omega tau is equal to 1, it will get intersect. So you will put point over here and you will draw the line diagonal to diagonal, okay, by hand, freely hand. Okay, so the asymptote will be moved out. So this is the low frequency asymptote, this is the high frequency asymptote, this is the corner frequency we can represent. Now how the theta you can calculate? Theta is equal to tan inverse minus omega tau. Okay, so omega, I will plot omega tau and value of theta in this fashion. Calculate when omega tau. Okay, calculate what will happen when omega tau is 0.01. What is at 0.1? At corner frequency, at 10 and at 100. Sorry, correct. Omega tau. Okay, so you observe that at 0, when omega tau is 0, it is 0 something. Okay, so in general we can say that in this fashion you can calculate with the help of ठीक है, तो मैं यहाँ लिख सकता हूँ कि 0 पे क्या है, 1 पे क्या है और से 100 पे क्या है. इन जनरल मैं 3 वैल्यू ले रहा हूँ. Okay, when omega t is equal to 0, it is 0. When it is 1, it is comes out to minus 45. And when it is at 100, it is comes out to be minus 90. So similarly, we can draw the graph of theta also. Here, theta की values मुझे पता है. I can plot it. आपको ग्राफ ऐसे प्लॉट करना है बस. ठीक है, वेरी सिंपल थिंग. बॉडी प्लॉट में आपको क्या करना है, you just identify the amplitude ratio. You just identify the amplitude ratio, identify the theta, identify the theta, identify the equation of line asymptote when low frequency asymptote, identify the equation of the asymptote, high frequency asymptote, identify the point of intersection, and draw the graph. Similarly, for theta profile, you use different omega tau values or the omega values and identify the theta and plot the graph. Are you getting my point? Okay. If you observe that this is a continuous line, there is a gap between these. What is this actually? When I am substituting omega prime is a corner frequency into the AR is equal to this. So it comes out to be 0.7 something. So that's why the gap is there. Okay. That graph is because of when I am substituting omega corner frequency into the amplitude ratio equation in this equation. Okay. When I am substituting omega tau into in this equation. So amplitude ratio comes out to be 0.5. So these are the only the dotted lines are the asymptotes, but the continuous line is nothing but the profile of AR, how the amplitude ratio is changing. See why we are discussing these things. It is a part of further when we define the stability, we need this. How we will define the stability and what are the rules of to define the stability with the help of these graphs, we will discuss that. Just like in the previous one, in the root locus, we have identified that if the roots are, if the loci are moving towards right of the imaginary axis, then we can say that system becomes unstable. So here is also we need to frame the some range up to which range, into which range that particular systems remain stable. Otherwise, what will happen? Unstable means its oscillations will change or increase with respect to time. Okay. So similarly, there are some homeworks for you. I will give you that in the assignment part itself. Okay. But now up to this in today's class was based on the how to draw the body diagram. Body diagram is nothing but the amplitude ratio versus theta, omega, and theta versus omega. This is how we can calculate this thing and draw this. Okay, the concept is a little bit clear. Okay, what is the body diagram and what are the XY axis on the body diagram? Students, any question regarding this?
Sir, for HYA, for HFA, sir, we got AR is equal to, A is equal to 1 by omega tau.
A means amplitude ratio.
Amplitude
Amplitude ratio is that equation becomes 1 upon omega tau. Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
What is the question?
Sir, how to draw HFA?
HFA. Na? See, this is the equation of line.
Yes, sir.
This is the equation of line. HFA.
Yes, sir.
Okay. But at what location it will go down, we don't know. For that purpose, just equate these two lines. Two lines का equations कब equate करोगे? And this is the line 1. This is the line 2. This point is nothing but the when it will satisfy, when the equation of this line equal to equation of this line. that time. So why, how, this is the AR is equal to 1, I am equating with the AR is equal to 1 upon omega tau. This is the line 1, I am equating with line 2.